What's up guys, Perry from Rockville here, and today I'm going to show you how to set up the RGHR51 5-zone single DIN marine receiver. As you can see, it comes with the receiver itself, a separate remote we can place further away from the receiver, a 33-foot extension cable for the remote, a mounting bracket for the remote, 4 screws, a mounting template, a USB extension cable, and a wire harness that we use both to power the receiver and to set up speakers. Also on the table is an additional amplifier, and behind me here are some speakers, but we're going to circle back to that in a bit. So one of the first things you can do is take the mounting template and line it up to anywhere you want to mount your receiver and remote. Then you'll just follow the guide to make the cutaways to fit the receiver and the remote. Depending on your setup or boat, you might want to wait to mount your receiver and wire everything first just in case you can't get access behind the receiver after you mount it. After you mount the receiver, you're going to remove the side panels here to reveal 4 screw holes. You're then going to use the 4 screws to finish the mounting for the receiver and to make sure that it's firmly secure. Now for the remote, you're going to want to remove the washers and nuts. Then you're going to run the remote through the cutaway that you made onto your boat with the mounting template before you add the mounting bracket. Then you'll take the mounting bracket and run the remote through the 2 holes here of the bracket, and then reattach the washers and nuts. Now if the arms of the bracket are too long, you can use the necessary tools to remove any ridges you need by following these lines here on the side. Then to connect the remote to your receiver, you're going to take the extension cable, plug the 3.5mm end of your remote to the input here on the extension cable, then plug the other end into the remote input on your receiver. Again, after that, you can place your remote further away from your receiver for your convenience. Now if we take a look at the back of the receiver, you'll see we have all these different wires, inputs and outputs that all serve a different purpose for your receiver. Starting with the red wire, this acts as the ACC or accessory wire, and this is going to connect to the ignition of the boat so that the receiver will power on as soon as the boat does. We have the yellow wire, which acts as the 12-volt wire, and this will connect to the 12-volt line of your house battery. Moving on, we have the black ground wire, which runs to the ground terminal of your house battery. And then we have the blue remote wire that we can connect to external amplifiers so that they power on as soon as the receiver does. Now because we don't have the ignition for the accessory wire in today's demo, we're going to run the accessory wire to the 12-volt of our battery. But remember, in your case, you're going to run the red wire to the ignition of your boat or vessel. So to connect these to your battery, we're going to need some leads. So we're going to take one lead and connect it to the 12-volt line here on our harness, then connect the other end to the 12-volt of your house battery. You're going to take another lead and connect that to the accessory wire and run that to the ignition of your boat or vessel. You're going to take another lead to connect the ground wire to the ground terminal of your house battery, and you can take another lead to connect the remote wire of your harness to the remote terminal of your external amplifier. Now something to keep in mind is that boats are usually powered by 2 12-volt batteries run in series, which will give you 24 volts of power. So you have one battery that acts as the engine battery and another one that acts as the house battery. So as I've been mentioning, you'll want to run everything we've gone over so far to your house battery. Now because this is a multi-zone receiver, we have the ability to set up speakers in different areas around your boat or vessel and have separate volume controls for each zone. So I can set up speakers in the main area for one zone, I can have another zone of speakers set up to the inside, and I can set up another zone in the captain's area while they're navigating. So first let's go over zones 1 and 2 that we can access through the wire harness here. These are actually high output speaker wires, so we can connect the speakers right to these wires. So the white wires here represent the left channel for zone 1, with the plain wire as the positive wire, and the one with the black stripe as our negative wire. Then we have the right channel for zone 1 with the gray wires here. Again, the plain wire is our positive, and the one with the black stripe is our negative. Then for zone 2, we have the green wires for our left channel. Again, the plain wire is the positive, and the one with the black stripe is the negative. Then we have the purple wires here, which acts as the right channel for zone 2, with the plain wire being the positive and the one with the black stripe being the negative. So to connect speakers to zones 1 and 2, I'm just going to need some speaker wire. I'm going to connect one end to the positive and negative wires of each zone. Then I'm going to connect the other end to the positive and negative wires of the speakers. We also have RCA outputs for zones 3 and 4. This way we can connect an external amplifier like this one here, so that we can add more speakers to our setup. So I can take an RCA cable and plug one end into zones 3 or 4, Then I can take the other end and plug it into the RCA inputs for a channel on my amplifier. We also have a dedicated mono RCA output for a subwoofer labeled Zone 5. For this setup, we recommend using an RCA Y cable so you can connect the single end into Zone 5 and the other ends into a channel on your amplifier. So like I said, I'll take the single RCA end and plug it into Zone 5. Then I'll take the other end and plug it into the RCA inputs of the active sub or the RCA input of the amplifier that's powering the subwoofer. Now we also have a bunch of other RCA inputs and outputs, like this gray one here labeled Aux In. With this, we can take an RCA cable to connect any auxiliary or MP3 device. So we can take one end and plug it into the Aux In, then plug the other end into your aux device, or if you're using an RCA to aux cable, you can connect the aux end to your MP3 player. We even have the USB input so we can connect a USB drive to play music, movies, or look through pictures. Again, we have the extension cable so we won't have to reach around to the back to access the USB port. We also have an input for your antenna to strengthen the radio signal for your AM and FM radio. We also have the camera in so we can connect a backup cam and have the video shown through the display of your receiver as you're backing up your boat. You can also access the view of this camera by going into the camera settings and actively view what the camera is looking at all times. We also have a video input which is more geared for DVD players or anything that can output video, which again can play through the display of your receiver, and you can also access this by setting the receiver to the aux input. We also have a video output so we can send the video throughout different screens on your boat. This will display anything coming through the receiver, whether it's the backup cam, the DVD player, or any picture or movie playing through the USB. This is also handy if you want to project things to a larger display. Lastly, we have this brown wire here that acts as the camera control. This will act as the trigger for your camera to turn on whenever you're reversing your boat. So when you're going to reverse your boat, this wire will get the voltage, letting your receiver know to show the backup cam, and as soon as you're not reversing, the display will go back to normal. So now let's look at the front of the receiver where we can control the unit itself. We have the power button on the top left corner to turn the receiver on. Then we have the volume knob to control the overall volume coming out of the receiver. And if we press this button, we can go to each zone and set the volume for each zone. Then we have the mode button to switch between Bluetooth, USB, radio, or aux and AV mode. Then we have the back button to go to a previous menu, or in USB mode you can use it to browse folders and view and save presets in radio mode. Next we have the APS button to automatically program AM and FM radio stations, and you can short press this button to automatically seek different stations. Then we have the music playback buttons to play or pause our music. Then we have the buttons to skip ahead or go back a track, and you can also use these buttons to fast forward or rewind. Then we have the menu button to go into the general settings of your receiver, and in this setting you can use the volume knob to go through the different sub-menus. Then we have the tune knob to manually tune to a different radio station, and you can press this button to go into EQ and other sound settings. Then we have the band button to go through the different frequency bands for your AM and FM radio. For more info and details on each menu, you can always refer to the manual. Now we can also use the remote to control all of the same functions. So you'll see we have the top buttons here for the music playback. In the middle, you'll see we have a button for each zone. So if we select a zone, we can use the volume knob to control the volume for that zone. And then after a while, it returns to global, so we can use the volume knob to control the overall volume. We also have the mode button to select the source, and the band button for the AM and the FM radio. So to show you how we can control each zone, I'm gonna connect my smartphone to the receiver. I'm first gonna set the receiver to Bluetooth mode using the mode button. Then I'm gonna go into the Bluetooth settings of my smartphone, search for the device that reads RGHR51, and click on it to pair. So now I'm gonna play some music for you guys and bring in each zone. So I'll press play here on my music, and now I'll bring in each zone, starting with zone 1. Nice. There you go. Next we'll bring in zone 2. Okay. Let's bring in zone 3. Very cool. And zone 4. Nice. Next we'll bring in the sub. So hopefully this showed you guys how easy it is to set up your RGHR51 5-zone single DIN marine receiver. But of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support team through phone or email. As always, I'm Perry from Rockville, and we'll see you guys next time.